Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for 6 things that we learned from Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. I have not felt so emotionally invested in a single football match since the Champions League final. In a way where obviously the Champions League final is the Champions League final, but this game tonight, I feel as though as much as we saved the point, it feels like a loss. I'm going to try and go into as much detail as possible as to why I feel that way in today's video. But before we get into anything, I do need to ask you to subscribe. My voice is nearly gone. I've had a long weekend here. It's been a bit of a fun one. But obviously, it finishes with Chelsea and Man United. It finishes with the draw. When you think about it, at the beginning of the season, you look at Man United home or away, and you think, well, a draw is not the worst result. But in the context of the way this game went, I feel as though this is a really bad result for Chelsea. I feel as though we should have done so much more. Today, compared to what I've seen over the course of the past few weeks, I feel as though we were third gear at best today. When we looked good, we were nowhere near even the fourth gear, fifth gear. The fifth gear is where we want to be. That's where we were with Leicester. That's where we were against Juventus on Tuesday night. I feel as though we never really engaged with that decisive final third, everything. It was very slow. We looked a little bit lost. In credit to Manchester United, we looked as though we underestimated them massively. It was actually arrogant from Chelsea to a point because United came, and it's actually box number 1. I've given a red to Manchester United. This is a Chelsea channel, but I will say this. Manchester United were very good. They came here knowing that they need to start getting results in the league. Regardless of what we think about manager sackings or the way they've been playing, they knew coming to the team at the top of the league, the European champions, they knew that this wasn't the game where you come and try a totally different tactical approach. You don't come to Stamford Bridge when Chelsea are playing the way they're playing and try something brand new. What you do is you try and contain, you try and hold, you try and literally satisfy yourself with not conceding goals. And United did that today so perfectly well. And yes, it coincided with Chelsea being very toothless in the final third, very lacking a finisher, lacking somebody to actually deliver the goods when it really mattered most in front of goal. I think Manchester United, I told you this is going to be a very emotional video in the sense of when Rudiger put the ball over the crossbar in that final minute, I was literally on the floor begging him to put it in, because if Chelsea win this game 2-1, with that kind of last minute chance, then we are literally in a whole different tone of voice. It was a very entertaining game of football because as a fan of the sport, what United did, no matter whether it's my team or anybody else, I respect it. I see it and I think, well, you know what? You're not going to come and do anything else. Cristiano Ronaldo is on the bench. He comes on, doesn't really impact the game. He gets a booking in the later stages as well. But Anthony Taylor, I'll say one thing. I don't like the guy. I absolutely despise the bloke because of the past, because of history. But at least he didn't screw the game up. At least the penalty that we got was actually given as a pen and we scored a goal as a result of it. But Manchester United did everything they could have ever dreamed of doing. And at the end of the game, the commentary, you can hear it, that all of the crowd is Man United. They're singing about Man United because Chelsea know that we should have won this game. We could have won this game. In the first half, we were very, very blunt going forward. And it was a real shame because we were getting into good positions. The injuries actually showed. Alonso, who I don't think had the best game. I don't think he really did any justice to Chilwell being injured and being given that opportunity to actually play in the left wing back role. But Man United were good, and it's annoying. It's so annoying every time we went forward. Normally, in recent games, I felt like we're going to score, we're going to do something here. But United just looked as though they were on it. It's nothing more annoying because we should have won this game. We really should have won this game. We gave them too much respect for the way they were playing, and we didn't even really go in to actually up the gears. I've been talking for 5 minutes and all I've been talking about is Manchester United, and that's annoying me. I'm sure it's annoying you too, but we move into box number 2 and it's a yellow for a goal scorer. In a game that Chelsea don't lose, I've given a yellow to Jorginho because what he did when we conceded that goal, for me as a fan, and I'm on the other side of the world right now, when I see what his reaction to giving that ball away or letting United go in on goal when Jadon Sancho, a man that I've been begging to come to Chelsea since we even birthed this channel. Jorginho's reaction for me was enough to just be fuming with what I saw out there on the pitch today. I think there were times where United were going forward, and again, very rare, but he broke up the play very well. He actually made the right passes. He was quick with his decisions. He didn't hold on to the ball. He gave it back to Chelsea players in attacking thirds. But that reaction to that goal, if we're going to win the league this season, there is no way we can have things like that. It doesn't matter if you're not the quickest player. It doesn't matter if you've got someone like Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford running at you. You can't react like that. And when I saw it, and when I see the highlights and I see the replays of that moment, I was fuming. And again, I think Jorginho, apart from that moment, he scored the goal. We didn't lose. He scored the penalty. And other than that, I actually think he did a good job. But again, he could have done so much more. And I think a lot of this today comes back to Chelsea giving Man United too much respect. I think maybe we entered this game thinking we should beat these. We're going to beat these. They've been doing bad. They've sacked their manager. They've got Michael Carrick in charge. Maybe it's too soon for them to come and actually deliver a good performance. Despite having the better players, despite being the informed team, we couldn't cohesively put it together. And I've given Georgie a yellow because that one single moment when they scored their goal, just absolutely, I went nuts. I'm literally the only person in this room right now, the only person in the kitchen behind me, living room in front, no one's watching it with me. I'm sat on the floor and I'm literally hitting the flipping wooden floorboards beneath my feet. I was fuming with that reaction from Jorginho. Chelsea go 1-0 down, and I think we were shocked. I think when that goal went in, we just didn't know what to do. We've been so used to rolling teams over, dominating teams. Kind of bypassed us a little bit, but we move into box number 3. And I've given a yellow for Thomas Tuchel. I don't want to give it a red because, again, this is my reactionary series here on GBFC. The yellow is because the game was crying out for Romelu Lukaku. And he came on, but it was too late. We didn't have enough time to actually get the ball into Lukaku in good areas. Yes, we brought on Mason Mount, we brought on Christian Pulisic, but Lukaku could not put himself into the game. You guys know it here on GBFC. I'm a big fan of Timo Werner. I always want to back him. I always want to believe that he's actually going to deliver what we know he's capable of, what he did at RB Leipzig. The substitution should have been earlier. I feel as though we shouldn't have given United so much respect. We were cocky, we were arrogant, and we didn't get the job done because we didn't realise what we have and what we needed to do in order to beat that defence, which Wan-Bissaka, I talk about Reece James all the time, but again, I want to try and make these videos as balanced as I can. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was amazing for Manchester United today. He was my personal man of the match. I think Thomas Tuchel, as much as I absolutely love the guy, and we've been on a massive roll recently of talking good things, game by game, this series is about analysing what we see. And I think that Thomas Tuchel should have made substitutions earlier in order to change the dynamic, which was Chelsea failing to break down a resolute Manchester United defence. They catch us on the break, we go 1-0 down, we're chasing the game, and we needed to score a goal. And our striker, our main striker, is still on the bench. We move into box number 4. And again, this one might come as a surprise to some of you. When we're watching the game, I look through Twitter and I see certain things, but I've given Ziyech a green. First half, I feel like he worked incredibly hard. He was trying to win that ball back. When Chelsea lost it to Manchester United, he was on every single United player, trying to win it back, trying to make those passes. And I made a comment in a video earlier this week saying that Hakim Ziyech's brain, in terms of the way that he plays football, I feel as though despite whatever form he's in, he has a brain that is switched on beyond sometimes some of the Chelsea players. And again, that is not a criticism of our team. It's not a criticism of our players. It's a case of sometimes a player like Hakim Ziyech needs everybody else to be on song in order for us to see just how good he is. And I feel as though in terms of Chelsea's creative ability today to create chances, to score goals, I feel as though Hakim Ziyech was probably one of the best players for us in a game where I watch it and I look at United. I remember David De Gea's performances from years gone by where he saved United points at Stamford Bridge because Chelsea couldn't score against him. Surely one of these chances, one of these 15, 16 bloody corners is going to go in the back of the net. It didn't happen. And I looked throughout the game for positives. To draw 1-1 at home to Manchester United is not the worst result in the world, but it feels so much worse because we should be beating this team. United came with one single plan, counter, and they did it very well. They were fantastic in what they actually came and intended to do. Chelsea could have done more, and I think today, if there was anybody on the pitch who actually tried their absolute best to create those incisive moments, it was Hakim Ziyech. But we move into box number 5. My voice is literally disappearing. Thank you guys for watching till the end here. But box number 5 is Timo Werner, and it's a red. Timo Werner had a huge chance for Chelsea. The ball comes in, it falls on his right-hand side. In these moments where we think back to when we signed Timo Werner last season, Timo was the striker. He was the man that we called upon through the middle to score our goals. Today he's given that opportunity because Lukaku obviously isn't ready to start, but we're going to talk about him in a moment. And I just think Timo didn't do enough. I think the movement wasn't enough. I feel like every time he did get anywhere near the ball, on the ball, Manchester United players were too quick. They were too on the ball to win it back, and Timo Werner didn't compete. He wasn't doing enough to actually get Chelsea into better positions, to score, to shoot. This is one of the hardest 6 things we learned videos to do, because I'm gutted that we didn't win this game, because we should have won this game. And I think Timo should have done a lot more to make it into the final third in positions where Reece James, Marcus Alonso, who didn't have the best game, we missed Ben Chilwell today. We saw just how good Ben Chilwell has been in recent weeks and getting into the final third, actually being a threat for Chelsea. And we gave United an extra pass to win the ball back in today's game. And when it went into Werner, every single time, Victor Lindelof, he won it back. He was fantastic for United today. And Timo Werner, if he's playing through the middle, he needs to do so much more than what he did. But we move into box number 6, and I've given it to Lukaku. And I've given it a green because Romelu Lukaku didn't get enough minutes in this game to impact the game. It's against Manchester United, a team who he signed for. He thought it was the biggest move of his career. It didn't work out. He's come to Chelsea, his boyhood club. He's on the bench today, and I gave Thomas Tuchel a yellow box because I'm still literally looking at the screen now, watching the interview, and I see the frustration at Chelsea. But I've given Lukaku a green because even though he didn't get into many, if any, shooting opportunities to actually score the winner for Chelsea, there wasn't enough time to be able to impact the game and change the dynamic of how we attacked that resolute Manchester United defence. The tackle in our defensive third, just before the end, was massive. And I think it shows the hunger, the determination, and after everything that we've said, maybe a lot of people have said that Chelsea are better without Lukaku. Chelsea should play without Romelu Lukaku. We've just signed him, we spent all this money, but we're winning games, we're scoring goals, we're keeping clean sheets without him. I think today we just saw how big of an influence Romelu Lukaku could be. And even if that wasn't scoring the winner, only really was in the defensive third, I think it's massive for Chelsea moving forward. If I tie it in with box number 5, Timo Werner was a red. He did not do enough. I think we can all agree on that. Romelu Lukaku is going to be the reason why Chelsea do or do not win the Premier League this season. This result is frustrating. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. We're going to do another video, 3 more points, talking about this in a bit more detail after the game when it's not so reactionary, and hopefully when my voice becomes a little bit more functional. I think it's the word I was looking for. Gutted with this one. We should have won it. It's not a loss. It's a 1-1 draw. It's not the end of the world. We're still top of the league. Chelsea should be winning this game. United, well done. Congratulations. Great point for you guys. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or disrespectful. Yeah, you didn't win the game. It's Manchester United. You want to be celebrating wins, but it's a big point for them. And Chelsea should have done more. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new. I'm absolutely done. This has been a long weekend for me. It's been a fun one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Catch you all later. Come on, you Blues.